In this video, we're going to look at managing requests for service on your enterprise assets or locations. Let's get started by defining what a service request or SR is. Basically, it is a record of an issue or request for service that can lead to the generation of work. A service request can be generated in a number of ways, by customers, employees, and processes. For example, a customer has a discrepancy on their bill and believes their meter might not be working correctly and asks for someone to come out and inspect it. A contract inspector finds a problem with a valve when completing a visual inspection. An operator locates an issue when doing a walk around, or a monitoring device records a reading that falls out of the normal ranges. There are several benefits to utilizing SRs as a pre-work generation step. You can capture requests from any source and thus get the most accurate information from the people who have experienced or observed the issue. With self-service licensing, you can open the ability to create requests to have anyone within your company have the ability to report issues that can lead to the generation of work. Service requests allow for the capture of the information necessary to determine if the work is necessary, if the work is already accounted for in another job, the criticality of the work, as well as if the resources are available to complete the work. You have the ability to group work into packages prior to generating work orders so that the costs can be appropriately planned and rolled up. You have the ability to identify work that has already been included in the scope of another job from becoming a duplicate work package, which balloons the work order data unnecessarily. If you have KPIs that monitor job completion, you can prevent requests for work that will never be done from cluttering up the numbers. Essentially, SRs provide a mechanism to pre-analyze requests for maintenance or service prior to turning them into work orders or packages. Let's take a look at service requests in Maximo and view a few of the differences between an SR and a work order. Let's take a quick look at work orders to remind ourselves of all that comprises a work order record in Maximo. I'm just going to launch the work order tracking application from my favorites link. And when that brings me to the application list screen, I'll run a quick query. Work orders waiting for approval. So firstly, let's see what kind of records are here. If we sort by description and just navigate through them, we can see a bunch that definitely look like duplicates. And some that could potentially be grouped together as tasks into an installation job. So let's just open a work order here and see what kinds of information are included. So there are the basics of the location or asset to be worked on. Status, classification of work, priority, work type, job plan, safety plan, assignments, failure reporting, scheduling information, owner and work order groups, who reported it and when, links to related work, etc. So you can see that there are a lot of fields and tabs, and it can be a very big record. Now let's flip over to a service request and see the difference. Let's pull a similar query, all the requests in new or just picked up state. Here you can see a combination of things like questions, issues, requests for applications or hardware, which brings up the point that SR was initially developed for the IT industry to capture the work related to IT assets rather than operational assets. However, the benefits for capturing all requests for service became quickly apparent. Let's open one up and see what's involved in an SR record. So first off, there's some definite similarities. We see status, owner, who reported it and when, the details, classification, asset or location affected, priorities. You can also see that there are a lot less tabs at the top, but we have the ability to relate related records, other requests, work orders, incident tickets, etc. There are logs and the service address link. So right away we can see that this record is a much smaller data set, but still provides us the ability to capture some of this key information for analyzing this request for validity, necessity, and criticality. Service request also comes with some interesting additional functionality, like switching ownership. So if you have different levels of service, you can have someone work on it initially and then flip the ownership up the chain. There is a timer to capture short durations of effort or amalgamating time worked on the request. You can apply service level agreements to the request to ensure that the requirements for timely response, resolution, etc. are captured and monitored appropriately. You can, of course, create the work orders, incidents, and other requests from the SR record, and they will then be linked as related records automatically. This brings our video to a close. For more information on creating a service request in either Classic Maximo or the new work centers, tune in to our upcoming blogs.